What is up, Dallas Cowboys fans? How you feeling on a Thursday night? Late Thursday night after a very unnecessary Cowboys loss to the world champion Philadelphia Eagles on banner night. What the fuck did I just watch here? And what the fuck happened to CeeDee Lamb? I have so many thoughts here about the Cowboys' loss to the Eagles on Thursday Night Football to start the 2025 season for both teams and the NFL. I guess we'll start with the facts, if we can. Jalen Hurts rushed for 2 touchdowns. The Eagles lost their temper. We had a spitting incident before the game even started that cost the Eagles their star defender in Jalen Carter, who spat, whatever, on Dak Prescott after the coin toss and after the kickoff while there was an Eagles injured player. Spat, whatever, on Dak Prescott and got tossed from the game before the first play ever even happened. And that set the tone for a very contentious night. And we knew it would be contentious. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles. It's supposed to be contentious. If it wasn't contentious, nobody would care. The Eagles led 24-20 with 4:44 left in the third quarter. The game was then delayed 65 minutes because of lightning. The game ended up finishing finally 11:18 a.m. Central Time, after midnight Eastern Time, Philadelphia time. Dak Prescott threw a dime to CeeDee Lamb on a 4th and 3 with 1:54 left. That CeeDee Lamb, look, I know it would have been a good catch. It would not have been a great catch. It would have been a good catch. It would have been a catch that we expect CeeDee Lamb to make. Was the ball overthrown? A little bit, but Dak's been overthrowing people and then underthrowing people all night. It's week 1. I don't expect him to be perfect. But the receivers and CeeDee Lamb, you're making $30 million a year. You better fucking make that catch. And that might have redeemed you for the other 3 fucking drops that you had. Drops. And that was the game. Not the incomplete pass, not the drop on 4th and 3 that CeeDee Lamb couldn't hold on to. Combine all of his drops and his extremely poor play tonight. His route running was way off. His head was not in the game. He was, after every drop, he's on the sideline. It's on me. I got you next time. It's on me. You know what? Fuck you, CeeDee Lamb. Fuck you. I don't want anybody to ever tell me ever again that CeeDee Lamb is an elite receiver, that he's a top 5 receiver in the league. That is the biggest bunch of bullshit I have ever heard in my life. He is not. He's never been one. He has never been a top 5 receiver in the league. I don't want to hear all the stupid, useless numbers when the Cowboys are down 20 points in the 4th quarter and the Dak to CeeDee connection all of a sudden catches on. Because that's all his numbers are. And I'm sick of it. Brian Schottenheimer put together a brilliant offensive game plan on Thursday night. Heading in to Philadelphia, on banner night, the world champion Eagles. I want to throw up in my mouth just saying that. Brian Schottenheimer called a masterful game. And the Cowboys, for many, many parts of the game, were the better team. Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio had to alter his defense to get to Dak Prescott late in the game. Did anybody catch that? Vic Fangio's defenses rush 4 passers. Always. Always. Zero exception. They rush 4 passers. Vic Fangio had to add a 5th pass rusher in this game to try to get to Dak Prescott. The Cowboys offense almost broke the Eagles defense in the first half. The Cowboys made mistakes, and they were right there with the Eagles, the world champion Eagles, by the way. Cowboys had this game won. The Cowboys played better. They made more plays. They also made more mistakes. Not just CeeDee's drops. The Miles Sanders fumble right before the weather delay, that freaking hurt. That hurt. And by the way, thank God for the weather delay to keep the Cowboys in the game. And I thought coming out of the weather delay, the game became a defensive struggle or a defensive game, offensive struggle on both sides. Cowboys went toe-to-toe with the Eagles, who were favored, I think last I saw, 7.5 points before the game. 8.5 points, I think it went to at some point on Thursday. Everybody picked the blowout. I picked the blowout. I think I said 34-17 Eagles. And I only picked that because I thought it would be like 28-7 late. And the Cowboys got some garbage scores. That was my prediction. The Eagles played their game. They were able to run the ball. And yet the Cowboys were still in the game. The Cowboys still had a chance late in the fourth quarter. And for some reason that I will never understand, and no one will ever be able to explain it to me and make it make sense, the Cowboys on that 4th and 3 called the number 88 for that play. George Pickens had a much better game than CeeDee Lamb. And I hate George Pickens. Pickens had 3 catches for 30 yards. CeeDee Lamb had 7 catches for 110 yards. Pickens had a better game. Pickens had more impactful catches. And I hate George Pickens. Dak Prescott finished 21 of 34, 188 yards. Dak Prescott did not have his best game. He was not on. It's week 1. He didn't play the preseason. He's coming off the injury. I did not expect to see CeeDee Lamb or Dak Prescott having the game of his life in week 1 in Philadelphia. Dak had about the game I thought he would have. He underthrew Ferguson on that potential touchdown throw. It bounced off the defender's helmet. If he puts that in front of Ferguson, that's a touchdown. That's on Dak. But every pass that he threw to CeeDee Lamb, by the way, how many passes bounced up in the air that should have been intercepted? At least 2 that bounced off CeeDee's hands or off his face mask. I don't ever fucking tell me CeeDee Lamb is an elite receiver in the NFL. No one can ever fucking convince me of that. And by the way, one more time, fuck you, CeeDee Lamb. Good God. Anyway, what does this mean for the Cowboys? Well, it means they're 0-1. They're right where we thought they would be. The Eagles running game wore out the Cowboys defense like we knew it would, like we thought it would. That was no surprise. Both teams were good on third down. Cowboys were 7-11. Eagles were 8 of 13. Total yards, Cowboys outgained the Eagles 307 to 302. Shocking. 158 yards rushing for the Eagles. That's it. 158 yards. Does that shock anybody? Yeah, it should. Cowboys rushed for 119 yards. Eagles had by far more penalties. Tons of defensive penalties assisted the Cowboys. And for the most part, they took advantage of every single one. I didn't like the field goals in the end of the first half. Did not like those at all. Cowboys had the only turnover on the Miles Sanders fumble. But, dude, the Cowboys played well enough to win, except for one guy. I'm done saying his name. And I'm done with him. The Cowboys could have made a statement in Philadelphia on banner night and shot the big middle finger to the dirtiest, most disgusting city in the United States after Houston. And one guy said, the Eagles should probably win this one. It's their banner night. I'm going to let them have it. And that was, I'm done saying his name. So there you go. There's my analysis of the Cowboys game. I would love to hear what you think at IndyCar Tim on all the social media. Leave a comment in the video section here on FanStream Sports. By the way, our brand new FanStreamSports.com internet channel. Jesus Christ. I did have some drinks for the Eagles-Cowboys game. Our new website, go check it out, FanStreamSports.com. Ohio, Dallas, Tampa Bay, all the great parts of that website. Go check it out. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Yeah, I cuss on the show sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm passionate. It's how it works. We will come back this weekend probably, and talk a little more after I settle down. Talk a little more Eagles, a little more Cowboys, a little more in-depth analysis for you, and discuss week 2 for the Dallas Cowboys. As now with a loss, they've got to go to New York a week from Sunday to take on, they host the Giants. They've got to go back to Arlington and host the Giants. A noon kickoff here locally. And we'll see. We'll see. We'll look for a rebound from a bunch of guys. And we'll look for better days from Dak Prescott. And we will certainly look for better days from that overpriced, overrated wide receiver that I'm done saying his name. I might not say his name the rest of the season on this show. Hold me to that. Let's do it. I'm IndyCar Tim. This is the Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz here on FanStream Sports. Until next time, boys and girls, we'll see you.